This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 5, verse 17. Therefore, if any man be in a Mashiach, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Call Halayim Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Harakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well and are worthy of their double honors. Peace and blessings to you, Akim, pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last sections of time. All right, back at you with another lesson going into undo what you've been taught or unlearn what you've been taught. Because the ways of this world teach us to be wise and foolish things, and it teaches us to be competent in vanity and nothing, you see? But the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai teaches us to deal as men, okay? So ultimately, as you see, here in America, there's a wine that goes out that says, you only live once. It says, chase success, chase the American dream, all right? Transform yourself. But that's the transformation of a westernized mindset. That's the transformation, all right, of Babylon, okay? Not the transformation into being a new creature as the scriptures speak of. So Lord willing, this message be edifying. Let's just get into it. It's 2 Corinthians 5 and 17. Therefore, if any man be in Yahweh Shai Mashiach, he is a new creature. And the Lord said from the beginning, all right, as we were created in that 5th day, but the Lord in that 6th day made us in the image, right? Let's get it real quick. All right. This is Genesis 1 and 21. And the Elohim created great whales and every living creature that move it. So in the 5th day, we were created because ultimately we're the top creature. So the Lord said, become as a new creature. Okay. So in order to become a new creature, all right, you have to take on to those old past, those ancient ways. All right. Because this society teaches you to be warped in the mind. All right. It teaches you to be less of a thinker, right? It doesn't teach you to put on that new cloth, all right, to become a new creature spiritually. It teaches you to take heed to those customs and fallacies of the world, man. The Lord doesn't prescribe to that, all right? So it says, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And the Elohim saw that it was good. Now let's jump down, all right? This is the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And the Elohim said, let us make man in our image, you see? So we were the top creature. We were created, and then we were made in the 6th day after the image of the Elohim, and that top Elohim being Yahushai. So we were made after the image of Yahushai, man. Yahweh Yahushai. So ultimately, okay, we have to put on that image again of Yahushai through faith, man. All right? Let me get it real quick. This is the book of Romans chapter 5, verse 1. It says, therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace with Yahweh, with the Most High, through our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach. So we've been justified by our faith to do these things. We've been justified by our faith to put off that old way, all right? To put off that old man, okay, so to speak, of the world. The Lord justifies us to say, hey, I don't want to walk after this Americanized society. I'm going to walk after Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So the Lord said, hey, we could do that. The Lord gave us faith to do it so we could put off that Americanized, westernized cloth and put on the image of Yahushai, man. The image of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, man. So we have to become a new creature. We have to undo or unlearn what we've been taught. So let's get back to that 2 Corinthians chapter 5, all right, verse 17. It says, therefore, if any man be in Yahweh Shai Mashiach, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. Now let's get that word new, okay? And let's see what we got there. All right, 5 and 17. And I'm going to read it in the NLT real quick. It says, 2 Corinthians 5 and 17. It says, this means that anyone who belongs to Yahweh Shai Mashiach has become a new person. The old life is gone, a new life has begun. That's beautiful. It says the old life is gone, the new life has begun. And that new life is the image of Yahushua. Because the image of Yahushua, all right, the image of the Lord is what? Righteousness, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, faith, okay? So ultimately, the scriptures tell you we don't make void the law, but the law is fulfilled in Yahushua, man. He's a walking testament of it. He fulfilled the law. He kept the law to the T, and he did not sin. So that's ultimately the state of mind we have to be in. We're trying to get back to that state of mind. We're trying to get back to that, to becoming that new creature. That's Salaki. I'm out of breath a little bit. I walked a little trail, just waiting on the Akim to do a lesson. But let's get that word new. All right. Kainas, it says new as respects form, recently made, fresh, recent, unused, unworn. As respects substance, of a new kind, it says unprecedented, novel, unheard of. And ultimately the Lord calls us peculiar people. So we're going to stand out, not for doing the things and keeping on the ways of the world. We're going to stand out for doing not those things, by putting on the ways of the Lord, because those ways are peculiar. That's that new creature. So now you're going to stand out spiritually. You might not stand out physically, okay? But spiritually, you're going to stand out everywhere you go. The Lord is going to make it known, man, through the Spirit. Because the Spirit guides these people. The fashions and the fallacies of this world, they don't guide this society, man. The Lord controls all those things, man. These people are just caught up in it. They need to be caught up in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and his word pertaining to 2/3 of our people, man. You so-called Native Americans, Latinos, and Negroes, all right? Because you're under the law. You actually could become a new creature, man, through wisdom and knowledge and understanding, but you don't want to hearken on to it. You're stiff-necked. So let's go to the Strong's definition. It says, of uncertain affinity, new, especially in freshness. Right, man? That's why the Lord tells you, seek ye the Creator in the days of thy youth, man. In that freshness, all right? Let me get it real quick. Let me get another one as well. Kind is Matthew 9:17. All right. I'm going to start at 16. It says, no man putteth a piece of new cloth unto an old garment. For that which is put in to fill it up, take it from the garment, and the rent is made worse. You see? So you can't put a new piece of cloth on an old garment. All right. Because ultimately, it's not going to have that freshness, man. It's not going to be new. We have to be a new creature, man. Total all around. You can't put that old man in with that new man because they're going to keep colliding, man. All right. But it says, verse 17, neither do men put new wine into old bottles. You see, that's why this new wine is true. This is new unto the earth, man. All right. It's ancient unto us. But when you hear this word, all right, you become alive. You become a new creature. You become different. All right. Spiritually, though. OK, because your ways start changing. Now your diet is changed. All right. Now your perspective on life is just changed, man. All right. Now your speech has changed, man. Your habits, your ways, they've changed, man. You become that new creature. You see? But it says, else the bottles break and the wine runneth out and the bottles perish, but they put new wine into new bottles. You see? And both are preserved, right? Because you have that freshness all around, man. All right. You don't have that old taste. All right, that sour, bitter taste, man. And America goes into bitter, man. That Americanized taste, that Americanized mindset, man, because that mindset is just, at this point in time, man, when we're getting closer to the Quran, man, it's just a sickening mindset, man. And it's a mindset that's just totally cancerous onto our people. All right, so we got to put off that. And we got to put on that new creature, like that word went into. All right, now let's go back quickly to 2 Corinthians, the 5th chapter. A 17th verse, and let's read it through the 18th verse, and let's get that word old just to compare. 2 Corinthians 5:17, it says, therefore, if any man be in Yahushua Mashiach, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. You see? Behold, all things are become new, and all things are of the Most High, who had reconciled us to himself by Yahushua Mashiach. You see? So we're reconciled unto Yahweh whom the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah. All right, we're reconciled back to Yahweh Shai Mashiach. You see, so the Lord is Yahweh Shai is that door, man. He said, "No man coming to the Father except through me." So we've been reconciled back. We've been pardoned back through faith, man. That's what's gonna get us to those spiritual bodies. That's what's gonna keep us new in that new creature mindset, man. All right. And now let's get that word old, okay? Just to give a quick comparison. All right, here we go. Old. Yes, you see, it says that has been from the beginning, original, primal, old, ancient. We know ultimately that's the elect. Okay, we've been there from the beginning, but in the sense of this old, it's talking about this. It says of men, things, times, conditions. You see, of men. You see that old man. That old man was of men, after the traditions of men, after the ways of the world, man. All right, but that new creature is of that freshness, of that word, of that pureness, man, that righteousness, that wholeness, man. Not partial, man. Okay? Let me get it real quick. St. Matthew. See. This is Matthew 18, and I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, "At the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Yahushua called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and set him in the midst of them, and said, Yahushua speaking, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall himself as this little," verse 4, "Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven." You see? So we have to be as little children. What's some characteristics of a child? They're like a blank sheet of paper, man. They're easy to be taught. They're receptible. They listen. You can mold them and shape them in a way that can either be for good or that can either be for wicked, man. Good being that new creature, all right? Wicked being that old man, that of men, you see, like it went into. Little children, it says, it's that word little children, it says. Paideon, it says a young child, a little boy, a little girl, infants, okay? It says children, like children in intellect, you see? Like children in intellect. Ooh, that's a banger. It says like children in intellect, because ultimately, all right, we have to be like a child in intellect when it comes to soaking this word in, man. Being a sponge, all right? You have to put off that weight that you had in the world, okay? That intellect that you had. You may have had different expertise in the world, okay? And then you come into this truth, you realize those expertise may or may not have been wicked, may or may not have been useless to you, but you filter them through the scriptures, man. All right. And there's some expertise you take and you filter it spiritually and righteously. And there's some you just let go, man. All right. But it's all according to the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. You have to unlearn what you've been taught, and you have to undo what you've been taught. Lord willing, this message was edifying. I'm going to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Call Halayim Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Harakak Wadash. Double honors to the Apostle Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well, and are worthy of their double honors. Peace and blessing to you, Akim, pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last 6 of time. Kwame Yashala, Shalom.